All right, let me end today. I know that it's been a difficult day, difficult 24 hours for many on the left. I want to say something that might surprise people. Um, I hope it'll be heard for what I'm saying and not for what I'm not saying. I want Donald Trump's presidency to be successful. Now, before you start typing out an angry email or an excretion on X, let me explain what I mean. When I say I want Trump's presidency to succeed, I am not talking about rooting for Trump's personal success or for the success of policies that I fundamentally disagree with. I'm talking about hoping that the country does well. We're going to be tracking metrics, as I told you, unemployment, job creation, GDP, wages, inflation, all of it. If Trump's presidency somehow shows results that are better for people, I'm going to be the first to admit it. And we're going to see it in the numbers. Why will I admit it? Because I do not root for harm or chaos to score political points. Everything I know about economics, foreign policy, trade, etc., tells me that if Trump does the things he said he will do, it's going to be bad for the country. But that means that people's lives, livelihoods, their futures will be diminished and worse off. If Trump ends up figuring out a way to actually improve the lives of Americans, and we can see it in the data, that's too important for me to sacrifice for the sake of partisan loyalty. I know from the emails I get that some people in my audience want Trump to fail and hope that he does so spectacularly, maybe to vindicate their political views. But who pays the price when a president fails? It's not just Trump or his administration, it's the American people. It's the families that are struggling to make ends meet, young people trying to afford college, seniors counting on Social Security and Medicare. The idea that making things worse might lead to a better outcome down the road, that's a form of accelerationism. Historically, it hasn't worked. I have a whole chapter in my forthcoming book about it. The Echo Machine is the name of the book. We've seen it before. The argument goes, if things get bad enough, people will wake up and they will demand broader systemic change. What actually happens? Things get bad, people suffer, their ability to even be activists is diminished because their circumstances are so precarious. Sometimes it even leads to worse outcomes. The Great Depression didn't bring about widespread equality. It led to authoritarian regimes in Europe. The Iraq War didn't end neoconservatism. It created fertile ground for endless wars and completely destabilized the Middle East. So I don't want Trump to fail just to prove that the left was right. That doesn't help anybody. Now, at the same time, let me be clear. Hoping for success doesn't mean Trump gets a free pass. It doesn't mean that we ignore the realities of his policies or pretend that his administration isn't riddled with corruption and incompetence, because it already is just hours into it. So my commitment, and I believe that this should be the commitment of anybody who values honest discourse, is evaluate his presidency fairly. If Trump pursues policies that genuinely help people, if he improves infrastructure, lowers prescription drug prices, expands access to healthcare, I'm going to tell you. And if those policies fail, or if his administration continues to undermine democracy and harm vulnerable communities, I'm going to tell you. It's not about being nice. It's about, just credibility. If we only criticize and never acknowledge a success, we lose credibility with people who might not already agree with us. And credibility is everything if we want a better future. The stakes are very high. There are real serious risks here from Trump's second term, risks to democracy, from Trump's authoritarian tendencies, his disregard for the rule of law. But I don't want to forget why we fight these battles in the first place. And it's not about beating Trump. We didn't beat him. The election was about beating Trump. The goal is to create a country that works for everyone. If Trump's policies accidentally move us in that direction, I'll tell you, hey, you know what? Wages are outpacing inflation. Stock market's up. Job creation is up, even if I can't stand the guy. But the challenge is that based on Trump's track record, we have damn good reason to be skeptical. The first term was tax cuts for the rich, attacks on the environment, efforts to dismantle healthcare access. The economy was fine until COVID, mostly riding on the momentum of the post-recession recovery under Obama. But then Trump's administration came in, undermined trust in government, fostered division at every turn. And hoping for success doesn't mean that we ignore the reality. It means we stay vigilant and we hope things improve for the average person. If better outcomes do not materialize, I am going to be sure to tell you that. So as Donald Trump's second term begins, I'm committing, as I always do, to evaluating what Trump does and being honest with you in a way that recognizes Trump might, it's been hours, right? We can't say it. Trump might, on purpose or accidentally, do something good. I'm very skeptical, but I'm still rooting for success. Not for Trump personally, but for the country, for the people who will bear the brunt of his decisions. But I'm also committed to fairness, to calling out the failures while recognizing the successes, however few they may be. We have a fantastic bonus show for you today. Please make sure you've signed up at joinpacman.com. If you missed the MLK Day Inauguration Day membership discount special and you want it, just email info@davidpacman.com and say, David, I missed it. I missed the special, but I want the discount code. info@davidpacman.com. And we are just now days away from the end of the free perks with my book. My book is available for pre-order everywhere. Barnes & Noble, Amazon, local bookstores, Kindle, Apple, everywhere. Up until January 25th, you get a bunch of free stuff. If you go to davidpacman.com/free book stuff, you must do it by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on January 25th. After that time, it's over. There's nothing I will be able to do to get you the free stuff. So get those pre-orders in, get the submissions in for the free stuff. I will see you on the bonus show.